Hey, Rylan here at the Vic Shop. Got a great example of just good old-fashioned mechanicking here. This 2009 Jackpot came to me and the owner said the last guy worked on it for 6 months and he couldn't figure it out. Here you go. And I love those kind of projects because in my world, anything's fixable. I mean, there's no way that you just can't fix it. It's a machine. It's created by a guy, a person, and it could be fixed. And so, granted, this one did throw me for a loop. I tried all the usual suspects, all the things that I recommend in my videos. I tried first, and then I got farther down the list, and I tried a bunch of different things, and I couldn't figure it out. And usually, if you send me an email or phone call or text or whatever, and you're saying, "Hey, man, I've tried diagnosing my bike and I can't figure it out," I'm always going to reply back with, "I don't know, I'm not there, I can't put my hands on the bike and look at it." And a lot of the times I'll say a good, thorough visual inspection is going to go a long way on this. I mean, that's just part of being a good mechanic, is treating the bike as a whole and looking at the whole thing and using your eyes to spot something that's plainly obvious. And I fell victim to this myself this morning when I was diagnosing this. And so as part of my diagnosis, I had given this a thorough visual inspection. I had pulled the tank off, seat, side covers, all the cheese wedges, the coil mount. I pulled all that off, and I was looking at all the wires and connections and unplugging things and looking at them and just kind of scoping the whole thing out. I had tried a bunch of different modules and stuff, and nothing was right. And then I got to the point where I'm like, I've tried everything in my book, and this is really unique, and I'm going to go back over my visual inspection again and just dive a little deeper. I mean, there's something that I have to have missed. And sure enough, I'm going to grab the camera here. There was once I had shown my light down, so this thing was spitting and sputtering, and we tried all kinds of different things on it, and the last shop couldn't figure it out either. And I thought to myself, gosh, I wonder if it's got, like, someone tried to put a timing wheel on there and messed it all up. No, that's never been messed with. And I looked at the wiring here that goes to the crank position sensor, and that all looked good. And then the wiring goes underneath this cover, and it comes back out up behind the engine here, and I look back there, everything looks good, I unplugged it all, and then I thought, well, geez, maybe it's down here because all the wires run, underneath the belt here and up the back of the engine. No, it's all good there. Sometimes the belt will be super loose and kind of hit something there. And then I got my light way back here where you can't even see with my cell phone camera, but I've mocked it up over here. And so again, crank position sensor is in here in this cover, and then it's got the wire that you can clearly see, and then it's got a wire that comes out, the back of the engine that you can clearly see. And what you couldn't clearly see, and that I should have taken an extra look at, is underneath the cover where a mouse had gotten in, and let's see if we can focus here, chewed through one of the wires partially. It's still connected. And so the bike was running really, really, really poorly, barely running, but it still ran. And so if you had called me and this was sitting in your garage, it would have taken us months to figure that out while we exchanged emails and phone calls and and everything else. But once I was able to get in front of the bike, let me put this here. So once I was able to get in front of the bike and actually look the thing over and try some things out, I was able to discover it. And so that could have been discovered 6 months ago by the previous mechanic, but it just didn't happen, but for one reason or another. And it almost got me too, but I say to myself, it's a machine, it's fixable, anything's fixable, and there you go. And so don't forget the cheap and the free easy things like a visual inspection. Good luck.